Dan Rogerson, Cabinet Member for Transport on Cornwall Council. As a local councillor, I get huge complaints about weeds that are growing in the curb line, growing along pavements, narrowing the footway and making areas look unsightly. So in the last 3 years, Cornwall Council have had about 2,000 of those, and we'll get more all the time as we get into the growing season. In addition to how it looks and how people feel about their areas and wanting to see them tidy and well cared for, we've also got the issue that it attracts litter, so that can make things worse. But then it's the damage that it's doing as well. If weeds are growing unabated, they are getting up into the pavement, into the curb line, as we can see in areas like here today. And that ultimately will be a cost. It will damage the footway, causes trip hazards, and so on. You can see here that this footway has become narrowed by the weeds here. It's also growing up, it's going to cause damage to the surface here, and that's what we want to try and avoid. Hoping to trial here in Cornwall now is to improve the problem by using a controlled drop application method, which takes glyphosate chemical, which is for sale in supermarkets and DIY shops around that people use at home, diluting it to 1 to 40 with water, so it's a very dilute application, and then doing a drop application so there's no drift and we're not broad spraying it. And that approach seems to work very well. We've seen other councils try things like vinegar, we've tried burning them, mechanical removal, and we think this option is something we should have in our arsenal, if you like, to tackle the problem. Here we've got a paved surface which is there for convenience of residents getting about, and you can see that the surface will break up because we've got the weeds growing here in the curb line. We can do mechanical removal as we do in some town centres and so on, but it's very time consuming and they'll come back again. So by looking at this controlled drop application, we're looking at ways that we can do it in a more consistent way and protect this asset, because what we don't want to see is all this break up, and then there's an additional cost of needing to resurface the footways as well. Understand that people will have concerns about the use of any chemical in the environment, which is why a very dilute system and using that drop application method is a much safer way of doing that. So that's the approach we're taking, and we're talking to town and parish councils and the public about how we do that over this season, see how it goes, and then we'll keep that under review.